Hey y'all, welcome to another video. It's me, Zarbix, or the Zarbix from Twitch, here with a video on city sieges. So, if you've been playing the game, if you're new to the game, you'll be wondering how the progression works, how the campaign works. It's a little confusing, but once you get a basic understanding of it, you'll feel very comfortable with it. So, let's start from the beginning, and we'll go through a lot of things in this video. We'll go through how you get to the city, where you go for the city, what rewards you get, how you perform in there, how you win, and just the overall system. Just bear with me, we'll get through it, and hopefully at the end of it, you'll have a better understanding of the campaign system. So, when the campaign resets in Warhammer Online, Return of Reckoning, you start in Tier 2. So if you look at your map, Tier 2, it's Shadowlands, Illyrian for Elf, Troll Country and Ostland for Empire, and for Dwarves, Brakvar and Marshes of Madness. As you capture these zones, you move further in the campaign. One realm captures, let's say, Marshes of Madness, Brakvar. They move on to Blackfire Pass and Badlands. Capture that, you'll move to Thunder Mountain. Depending on which realm wins Thunder Mountain, if Order wins it, they'll push towards Blackcrag. If they win that zone as well, they'll push to Butcher's Pass Fortress. And if they capture that, they'll lock that pairing. But if there's opposition, if let's say Destro starts defending, they defend Blackcrag, they could push it back to Thunder Mountain, then they can capture that, move to KV, and then siege Order's fort. So basically, a lot of the campaign is just getting to Tier 4, and then it's the push and pull, trying to reach the enemy realm's fortress by capturing their zones and defending your own. If a realm is able to lock two fortresses, let's say Destro was able to lock, Stonewatch, that's the dwarf pairing, and they were able to lock Reichwald, which is the other Empire pairing, they could go siege Altdorf. Now, the Siege of Altdorf is a 24v24 instance fight, so everyone can participate as long as you can form a warband together and get to the city portal. When you siege the capital city, let's say Altdorf in this case, if you're on the defending side, all you have to do is try to port to the city. It'll take you to a little camp, a little refugee camp outside the city in Reichwald, right about here for Order. And then all you need to do is just run across the bridge to the city. For destruction, you'll need to go to one of the forts, run through to the backside, and then run to the Altdorf city gates, which are right here. Or you can take the portals from the other forts. Once you get to the city gates, you will queue up for the city. Once there is a match made and there's an opponent on the other side, it'll launch. You'll get a pop like you would for a battleground / scenario, and you'll get into the city. That's where the fighting begins. So you'll have 5 minutes when it starts to just kind of go over your game plan in there with your team, sort out your parties, get into voice comms, whatever you need to do, and then the battle begins. So in the city, destruction is going to start right down here. In the Battle of Altdorf. For Order side, they're going to start right over here in the plaza. The point of stage 1 is to defend the objectives. So there are objectives that spawn all across the city that you need to capture as the attackers. The defenders need to hold them back. If the attackers manage to get all the objectives, there's one spawned here, 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 and 2 over here. They'll start breaking down the city gates. Once the city gates fall, if they fall, stage 1 is over and the attackers win. If Order, the defenders, are able to hold the city gates the entire time, hold the objectives, then Order will win stage 1. Winning each stage will give you royal crests, and how many depending on the rank of your city. So for example, right now, Altdorf is at 5 stars. It's a 1 to 5 star system, going up a star every 8 to 12 hours. If you win a stage, you get 5. If you lose a stage, you get 1. So you definitely want to win. What it also tells you is that it's less beneficial to siege a city when it is at a lower rank stars. For example, if Order siege IC right now, a win would only give you 2 per stage. So you want to try to maximize your potential when you're sieging these cities. Stage 1 is done, like we said, after you get the enemy realm gate down or defend it over a half an hour period or so. Stage 2 is escorting champions. Champions will start walking out from the portals towards the enemy realm's spawn point. You need to go both defend your champions and also attack the enemy realms. So it's a push and pull to see, can you defend yours while attacking theirs, and coming up with a strategy as your NPCs slowly walk towards the gates and see if you can win that fight. Stage 3 finally is the king fight, What'll happen is you'll get 4 champions chosen from your warband on each side, 1 tank, 1 ranged DPS, 1 melee DPS, and 1 healer. That person will get 10 times health buff. They'll get increased damage, increased defenses, and you'll battle it out against the other team in like a corridor type, arena. If you can get down the enemy realm's champions, you'll be able to start damaging the king, and if you can get the king dead, you win the stage. If you can't kill the champions in about 15 minutes, the buffs drop, and then it's just a free-for-all to see who can win first. Champions are kind of chosen at random for the most part. It chooses from the top 3 highest renown ranks for the players on a side. So if you have, let's say, an 81 Bright Wizard, a 79, and a 76 in your warband, any of those 3 can be the champion. It's chosen at random. Winning the stages awards you royal crests, which you can use to buy the gear in the city, as well as each stage has a bag roll where you can get gold, purple, blue, green, and white bags, and inside of those bags will be more royal crests, 5 in the gold, 4 in the purple, 3 in the blue, 2 in the green, and 1 in the white, depending on your contribution in the city that you'll get from getting kills, from healing, from lighting fires, putting out fires, and all of that. Sovereign happens to be the best gear in the game, and people want it. Cities happen all the time, but you just don't know when they're going to happen. They can happen at 3 in the morning. They can happen at 5 in the afternoon. You got to be online you got to try to be online. It's harder than you would think, but it's some really fun gameplay, and hopefully this gives you a little bit of a better idea of how City fires off, what you need to do to get there and win. And if you have any questions, feel free to throw them in the comments, and I'll see if I can answer anything more. So thank you very much for watching this video. Feel free to subscribe or join me on Twitch if you want, and I will see you all next time. Thanks.